I will provide all the information at once about who I am, what my name is, what my email address is, where the device is located, what the error message is, and you will see that Amelia is able to detect the intent. I want to open a ticket, I want to report an issue, and also extract from all the information that I have given the relevant information to populate into the ticket. And she displays that summary on the right hand side of the screen and basically asks me to verify/validate that that information is correct before submitting it into Topdesk. Of course, at this point in time, I can actually change certain elements or data. The semantic memory part can be demonstrated by actually providing some information to Amelia. And you will see that in the chat lane, I will just do a simple greeting. And you will see that Amelia places this information in her semantic memory and actually determines the value of the information that I have just given. So she understands it's a greeting. There's a neutral sentiment. I haven't said anything unpleasant or overly pleasant. And she will provide a simple response back by returning the greeting, but actually trying to start the process by reiterating the point where she explains how she can help me. So now in the admin interface, I will also provide all information in one go. And you will see that she will immediately place this in her semantic memory on top of my earlier greeting. And you will also see that she starts to process the information. So she's performing natural language processing, NLP, but also natural language understanding, NLU. So looking at the meaning of the words, what is being mentioned, what is being referred to, what is the actual context of this conversation, and also the words in this conversation. And you will see that basically she executes process memory to see what actually happens if I provide all that information at once. Of course, in the backend, she's now processing it in her semantic memory. She tries to perform an intent recognition, so detecting the intent. And you will see that on machine speed, she's executing the process based on her understanding of what the user just has said, executing the process and also following and adhering to the process that has been defined and given to her. And of course, also here, it actually ends up with the fact that she understood what the user said, understood the process that belonged to it, executed the process, and asked me for confirmation whether the ticket can be created on my behalf. So this was more or less to illustrate that, in fact, there are processes running dynamically based on what the user has been interacting or saying in as part of the conversation. I will restart or reset the conversation and take that step-by-step approach. And in this approach, we will also be actually now creating that Topdesk ticket and also be looking at the Topdesk ticket. So I can take a step-by-step approach by actually saying a problem statement. The printer on my floor isn't working. So Amelia detects the intent that I have a problem with my printer, and that, of course, as per the process, a ticket needs to be opened off the back of this conversation. She also notices that there is only a problem statement, so now she will run the process in the backend, and rather than pre-filling the process with all the information I already have given, in absence of such information, she will now follow the process and ask me for that information. So she will ask me for my email address, which is a prerequisite, so I can enter it. She will inject it into the process and determine the next step in the process to be executed, which is my full name. I can either provide my full name or actually use it in a sentence, right? I can say, sure, it is Paul Verkijk. And she will detect my response and also subtract from that response what my actual name is. She will also ask me for the role in the university and actually generates buttons for me I can click on, or I can again type a response. I can say I am a student. Again, she's following the process, identifying the fields that need to be populated, and she is asking me questions to help her to feed into the process. Now we arrive at an interesting point. She asked me for the tag name of the printer. But what if I actually don't know what a tag name is or what the name of the printer is? So I can just provide a response that actually says, well, I don't know. I don't know the name of the printer. Where can I find it? So basically I'm asking a question in return. I really don't know. She detects the question and she pauses the main process and that helps me in a side step, a frequently asked question, to help me to determine what the name of the printer is. By using the right hand, also visualize it. So here is where you can find the name of the printer. So she supports me in that side step, but then wants to continue to execute the original process and ask me the question, can you provide the tag name of the printer? That's where we left off in the main process, right? So I can now actually say, okay, I've executed those steps, so sure. It is SCA 1234. That is the tag name of the printer. She will enter it into the process and go or continue with the next step, which is, can you please provide the location of the printer? I can actually name a location, name a floor, but I can also say I am in the Aurora building right now. So I as a user know what the Aurora building is, and Emilia is also able to extract from this sentence the actual location and understand the location. She will ask me what the status is on the printer display, and I can actually read it off the printer, and I can say something like printer error low on ink. You will see that again, in a step-by-step approach, I have been guided through the process, and she asked me to verify/validate all the information that has been gathered as part of this process, and asked me to confirm. So let's confirm, because off the back of my confirmation, actually a Topdesk ticket will be created. So it appears as if she is typing, but in the backend she's actually over the integration creating the ticket in Topdesk. And she plays back the number for me, right? It says here, this is the Topdesk number. I will just copy this, and she also gives an indication from an SLA perspective to set the expectations right with me when this most likely will be addressed/resolved. So she has completed her process and asked me, is there anything else I can help you with? Let's not do that at this point in time, but move to Topdesk and actually look up that ticket that has been created off the back of my conversation. So I'm looking this up in the Topdesk instance that is pre-integrated with Emilia at this point in time. The information is retrieved, and in here you will see that all the relevant information you just saw as part of the conversation has been injected into Topdesk. Of course, the integration works bidirectionally, so I can actually change a value here. I'm going to change the location of the printer, for instance, and hit save, and it will be, of course, saved here in Topdesk. But if I, from an end user perspective, I'm going to ask for a status update on the ticket, for instance, we will see that information about the change of the location has been reflected in Topdesk and therefore also in the conversation on the front end. So if I ask, can you please provide a status update on a ticket, Amelia understands, again from an intent recognition, that I would like to check an existing ticket. I do not want to open a new one. I want to check an existing one. And she asks me for, okay, the actual ticket number that I want to have an update on or status on. I provide the number and she will, over the integration in Topdesk, actually extract the ticket information and retrieve that and populate it on the right hand side of the screen again. You will see that in fact she has a real-time overview of the ticket in Topdesk, and actually the printer location that we have changed on the Topdesk end is now also reflected here in the conversation. So this is to demonstrate that the integration is truly bidirectional. From the chat interface, updates can be made or tickets can be made, updates to existing tickets can be made, and of course vice versa, and it will always be reflected in real time on either side of the integration. After